Beautiful nail babes and nail friends, welcome back to the channel where I am Ms. NailStruggles herself, and I try to eliminate your nail struggles by trying all the nail things so you don't have to. Today we have, making it just easy so I can put it up there, an acrylic brush review. Okay, I'm already torn into it because I mean ain't nobody got time to be spending 22 minutes to try to get into the package. But anywho, to my beautiful friends and to those that are new, thank you for coming over to our piece of the YouTube universe. For those that are my oldies but goodies, you know that I love you and thank you so much for coming back. Nevertheless, people, let's go ahead and guess what I'm gonna ask you to do. It's a shameless plug. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. Hit that button and subscribe. For those that you don't know, I love to have my Celine Dion moments here on this channel, so come on back because you're going to want to hear our banter and whatever else we got to say for today about these here nails. All right, people, guess what we're about to do? We're about to dive right into the video. Okay, people, so we have, what is from Dashboard Beauty, our number 12 Kolinsky USA brush, and we're going to see. All right, so I will tell you that I did try to get into this brush and then my camera cut out on me. So I was trying to show you that normally they come with lots of starch or glue that's in it, and when that happens, you kind of just want to take your time and pull all of the glue and the starch out and that like this. And then usually when I get a new brush like this, I do like to take a separate little dampen dish like this, and then I usually put a little monomer in it and then try to just work the rest of the starch in that out. Unfortunately, the camera cut out, so I can't redo it, but I'm just going to show you this is what I do when I am prepping this particular brush. Okay, so just for comparison reasons, I do have a couple of favorite acrylic brushes, and my actual favorite brushes are from Atwood Industries. So I will be making comparisons to those because this Dashboard Beauty brush is a brush that you can find on Amazon. So when I compare them to each other, so I think I have a number 12 around here somewhere. Okay, this is a 16, but yeah, it's kind of looking like a paintbrush over there. Okay, so pretty much when I am looking at a brush, I'm also trying to validate its stiffness, and then as you see compared to my number 8, because this is the number 8, you can see that the brush head is significantly longer, and then when we turn them to the side, you can see that the belly of the brush is a lot bigger than the one that is here on the 8. And of course I know it's not size for size, but it's just to give you an idea of what I typically work with. So I've got a little monomer here, so we're going to go ahead and sit our brush in. I'm going to grab some acrylic and a couple of these here swatch sticks for us to be able to see how this particular brush picks up. So one thing that I am going to work with is some pink acrylic, because the pink acrylic tends to be one of my favorite colors, or colors that I'm using on my clients and that a lot. So this happens to be the Cover Pink acrylic that is from Young Nails. So, right, so once I dip that in there, I'm going to dip it really hard so that I can get all the bubbles out of my brush, and then I'm going to take it off. Oh, got some glitter in there. Glitter, I tell you, it just be everywhere, and I thought this was my non-glitter dish. All right, I'm going to dip. I'm going to pull off the liquid on one side. I'm going to tap, tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick that up, hold that 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put that down on the nail here. All right, and we're going to kind of see and pat this out. See how this brush holds liquid and how, yeah, it holds quite a bit of monomer. I can tell you that right now because, yeah, my bead is definitely a lot wetter, and I could have picked up a bigger bead because this is a bigger brush. What I am seeing, it is holding on to the acrylic a little more, so you want to make sure that you really clean off of that brush. So I'm gonna stick that back in, drain it off on one side. Let's pat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up that bead, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it sit. I'm gonna put that down, and then I'm just gonna kind of brush this back to see how I can move this acrylic around here. Okay, yep, like I said, the brush, the acrylic is sticking in it a little bit, so you probably want to watch out for that, and that you want to make sure you are adequately cleaning off this brush. Now this brush is definitely a little bit different for me because I'm not used to the longer hairs and head on it, so that's something that's different. So I am using these Scott shop tiles. They usually cost about 2 or 3 rolls, $2 or $3 a piece. I actually buy them by the 24 pack in out of, what is that, 1 2 3 4 5 out of Sam's Club. And I'm gonna hold that 1 2 3 4 5 until it goes glossy, and then put that down. And then what I am going to do is go ahead, and this is, I mean, this is pretty much how I'm doing my nails. I do my nails in however many beads I need to do it. Okay, then I just usually push that acrylic up into the cuticle area and then brush and pat down like I am a painter. Brush, 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 brush. Okay. All right. So what I will say, like I said, about this brush is it's not bad. It's definitely something different to work with. Okay, because it does hold a whole lot more monomer. So that is on a covered pink nail. Let me see how it responds when I am trying to use it for, I'm probably going to go in with my Core Clear just to see if it responds differently, because sometimes, believe it or not, powders just act differently, and you have to learn your liquid to powder ratio depending on the brush you have. But this time I'm not going to probably take a whole lot of liquid out of it, just to kind of tap it there and see if I can pick up a bigger bead here. Let's see. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so, and then I usually wait 2 3 4 5 to see if it's gonna go glossy on me. All right, then end up just pushing that into the cuticle, All right, again, you want to make sure you are wiping that brush well, because like I said, it is, yeah, my bead was actually a little wet there. It is holding a lot of monomer. So I would actually have to play with this a little bit more so that I can make sure I get my liquid to powder ratio right. 2 3 4 5, and just kind of let it sit. So for those of you that might be picking up acrylic and then just kind of setting it down on the nail, it may help you to just go ahead and wait a couple of seconds before you put it down on the nail to give you a little more movement and flexibility. Okay, if you're just picking it up and slapping it down on the nail, that's probably one of the reasons that you're seeing it run all over the place. Okay, so we can see here, I'm going to hold this up. You can see that piece of acrylic that is right there. So as I said, this brush is holding on to acrylic a little bit. So if I had to rank this brush, I probably right now am going to give it an 8 out of 10. And the only reason I can't give it anything higher than that is because of how the acrylic is sticking into the brush. That is something that I am looking at. So for those of you who may be new, yeah, I'm like, this is sticking, and the acrylic is sticking in the brush. Okay, let me put this down. Okay, yeah, I definitely would give this an 8 out of 10. I probably would not pinch this brush. I think this brush does well being a full bellied brush. And yeah, we'll definitely give this an 8 out of 10, because I'm like, you can still pick up really, really good beads and stuff with it. It tends to appear to be Kolinsky, because Kolinsky typically has that darker hairs at the top. And here, let me show you what I'm talking about. You can see how you have the darker hairs here at the top versus it going to lighter. Yeah, you can flatten it out if you want to, but I think this brush works actually a lot better with you using it at as the point. I probably would not pinch this, and pinching means just basically taking the barrel here and flattening it so you get more of a flat brush. I don't think this brush will work that great like that. It works better together like this, but you just need to make sure you're very much cleaning off your brush. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I will tell you that this, because of the coating that's on here, if you get acetone in that on here, it's going to mess up the paint. So you probably are going to want to go ahead, use something like a top coat, and paint the the coating of this and cure it, so that if you get any acetone in that on it, it won't mess up your brush. So make sure that you do that. Okay. All right, so there is my review on Dashboard Beauty. Like I said, I give it an 8 out of 10 only because of how the acrylic was sticking in the brush. But I think as long as you have a good clean towel, you know, if you're constantly wiping your towel in the same spot where there is a whole lot of acrylic, this is probably going to get gunked up. So you do not want to do that. You want to have, if you have to, stop, get yourself a new towel, and make sure that you're wiping and cleaning this brush off quite often, and it holds quite a bit of monomer, so you do need to know that as well. So there's my review. For those of you that are watching, you are able, I put the Amazon link down below if you believe this is the brush that is for you, and there's also a 10% off code for you to be able to cop that if you were looking for a good Kolinsky brush. So, and when you get your brushes and you need to clean them, I usually clean them off. I usually let them sit in monomer for about a good 10 minutes. And then when I pull out my brush, I take a clean piece, at least the clean side of the paper towel, and I kind of take my time and pull the brush out like this to make sure to flatten the hairs and to make sure there's no acrylic that has been stuck in the brush. Redip it in monomer, and then kind of swirl the brush back to the shape that it needs to be in. So there we go, and it's actually keeping its shape in that. Very nice. Okay, and then you want to make sure you store them upside down. If you store them like this, then the liquid is backing up into the ferrule, and it over time is going to loosen the glue in that's used to keep these hairs in place. So store it upside down. I have a little ferrule that I use, this metal that clips onto my light, that I just clip my brush onto. All right, that is my review on Dashboard Beauty's brush. And you know, what I'm going to say here is that, you know, go outside of your comfort zone today, ladies and gentlemen, and try something new, because you just never know where it will take you. Okay. All right, people, you know that is my word of wisdom for today, but you know what it is that I'm about to say, and that is life is too short to have boring nails. So don't. And we're out.